Tiger fans, welcome to another episode of Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. I am the Corey C. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. We're everywhere you find podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, you name it. So be sure to follow the show and tell every Tiger that you know. And remember, when you support Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, it all helps the cause, which is the I love Jackson State University. And today's show is brought to you by Bet Online, your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. So head on over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online where the game starts. All right, and we are back with another JSU football Tiger as we kick off this season. He's a wide receiver. He's a transfer. Northern Illinois, none other than Fabian McCray. Welcome to Tiger Talk with 1400 Club.
What's going on, Corey? Appreciate you for having me.
I'm glad to have you. Long time coming, man. We wanted you on the show for a while, so we know in the past couple of weeks you guys are ramping up and getting ready for the season. So kind of put it off and put it off, but we said now's the time. Now's the time to bring them on. We want to make sure the fans can see your face, get to know you, and things like that. So let's kick things off, man. First, I want a fun fact. Give me something about Fabian McCray that maybe will catch the fans off guard that not many people know. Even some of your teammates may not know.
Fun fact: I wanted to be a hooper when I was younger.
Want it to be so? How far did you take it? I mean, did you play in middle
I
school, elementary
mean,
school, high
I
school?
played I played up through high school, but I ain't really take it as serious as I did with football.
Okay. Did you have some game?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So we got some guys on the team who can hoop. Have y'all? I know y'all been preparing for the season, but maybe over the summer, did you get a chance to hoop with any of the guys?
Yeah, in the summer we hooped around a little bit, just a little bit. Nothing too serious though.
Okay. Now they all say they can hoop. Jency Riley played in high school. Isaiah Spencer was a dog in high school. Isaiah Kendall was a dog in high school. Seven McGee. Seven McGee got some game, and the list goes on. So give me the guys you hooped with. I know you hadn't hooped with all of them, but give me the MVP hooper from the football team, other than yourself. You can't say yourself.
Uh, I probably have to say Isaiah Spencer. He pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, he's nice with it. He was trying to play. He was talking about trying to play for the team. I'm like, man, just let's play football. You came here to play football, but he wants to do both. So I don't know. He's looking pretty good out there. So hopefully he'll just stick to football. But Fabian McCray, man, hey man, again, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. So I'll start off by telling us where you're from, man. Rep your city, state, high school.
I'm from the south side of Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
Went to Wendell Phillips High School.
All right, so coming out of shy. So a football player from Chicago. So tell me, man, what is football like in Chicago? Because we know it as a basketball city. I mean, Chicago is always. I see y'all on social media going back and forth with New York. What city is
Yeah.
the home of basketball? Which city is the king or has the best basketball players? I should say. So talk to me about
Mhm.
football. What's the football like in Chicago?
I mean, it's pretty good competition. So my school, we were in the public league, so public league competition, it's not really that superior. But when you make it to like state playoffs and you get pretty deep in the playoffs, you play some competition because then you'll be playing against like private, public, Catholic league schools and things like that, and schools that's like bigger than public league schools. So it get pretty
Gotcha.
intense.
So of course you made a name for yourself in football in Chicago, coming out of Chicago, and you were a three-star recruit. So talk about your recruitment. Of course, you ultimately signed with NIU. So just talk about their recruitment and the decision to initially sign with them.
At first, I was committed to University of Illinois, but then some
Okay,
things went on with the coaching staff, which made me decommit. But ultimately, I wanted to go somewhere that was kind of close to home and with a winning tradition, so I chose NIU. But then after I signed, it was a
okay, and you
coaching
spent.
change.
Okay, that was right after you signed, right?
Yeah, so when I got there, it was like a whole new coaching staff.
Okay. So the coaching staff that recruited you wasn't there when you showed up for camp.
Yeah, they went to Temple.
Wow. Wow. So at that point, were you at a crossroads? Were you thinking about maybe, trying to get out of that commitment, or you wanted to stick it out at that point? I mean, obviously you stayed, but what were your thoughts? Did you mesh well with
Yeah,
that new coach staff right away, or was it a
yeah.
tough decision?
I definitely thought about leaving, but at the end of the day, I was like, I'm gonna just stick it out and make the best of my situation.
Right. So in today's age, today's college football landscape, it's a lot easier to leave just with the transfer portal. So back
Uh-huh.
then, what was it like as far as transferring? Would it have been as easy to leave as it is now, or was it a little bit tougher to get out of that
Uh,
commitment?
I'll probably say it may have been the same as it is now, but me being a freshman and stuff like that, I really didn't know too much about being able to get out of a commitment and stuff like that. So I really wasn't even thinking about that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So obviously it was a good decision for you at the time because you stayed there for 4 years. Is that correct? 4 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you graduate from there yet or no?
Yeah, I just graduated last semester.
Okay. Okay. Congratulations on that. So four
Appreciate it.
years, you're a graduate, but obviously as a grad transfer, you decided to enter as a graduate, you decided to enter the portal. So talk about that decision. Was that a tough decision after being there for 4 years? And I would imagine establishing all those relationships with teammates and classmates and coaches.
Yeah, it was a tough decision, but it's like I had already did 4 years. I got my degree. That's what I really came there for. It was like it was time for something new, new opportunity.
Mhm. So talk about that portal, man. I mean, going to that portal, you never know.
Mhm.
It's like a box of
Yeah.
chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. So you jumped in. Were you getting as many offers as you'd imagine? How'd they go? And then especially when it came to
uh,
Jackson State, how did they get into the picture?
yeah. So hopping in the portal, I was kind of nervous, but I was like, forget it. I just hopped in. When I hopped in, I had a couple schools hit me up at first, but it was going kind of slow. So I had Illinois State hit me up. That was my first offer.
Mm,
But then, after last season, Coach Jo and Coach Hammock, the linebackers coach and the O line, the tight ends coach. I mean O line coach. They both actually came from NIU. They were at NIU with me last season. So when they hit me up talking about Jackson State,
mm.
it was really just a matter of me coming down on a visit to see what it was like.
Makes sense. So that's the connection. So that relationship was already
Yeah.
there. So would you say those were some
Uh
guys
huh.
you trusted?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Most
Prior to
definitely.
that, what was your familiarity with Jackson State? Were you familiar with Jackson State, the SWAC, or was it at all new to you?
It was kind of new to me. I just knew about the past two previous years with the past coach. That's all for real.
Mhm.
Just seeing stuff on social media.
Okay. Once they recruited you, did you come down on a visit or how'd that work?
Yeah, I came down on an official visit.
Okay. So what were your thoughts? Well, first of all, let me ask you this. Had you ever been to Mississippi prior to that? Be-
Nah, I had.
That's surprising because there's this connection between Mississippi and Chicago. Everybody from Mississippi has relatives in Chicago and vice versa. So you had never been. Do you have any that you know of? Do you have
Nah,
any relatives in Mississippi?
I think I have relatives in not in Jackson though. They in I forgot what part of Mississippi, but I
I
definitely
guarantee you do. I guarantee you do. And I bet you know some people from Chicago who are from Mississippi or have relatives in Mississippi because it's just
mm-hmm,
this weird
most definitely.
connection between Chicago and Mississippi. So, all right, so you get down here and you can be honest. What was your first impression? Was it what you thought?
Uh,
Was it not what you thought? What were you expecting?
I,
Give me spill the beans.
it was better when I got down on my official. It was more than what I was expecting. You know,
Okay,
so
okay.
that
So what
was
were
a
you
good
expecting?
thing.
Let's
And
hear it. What did you think you were gonna see?
I mean, me coming from a FBS school, coming to HBCU, you would expect a little to be like slack and like the
Hmm.
organization and the program and just everything for real. But then when I got here, that really opened my eyes. Like we got it better than some FCS schools,
Wow,
even some
wow,
FBS schools. Really,
wow. That's interesting.
you just got to be
So
here to experience it to know.
right. All right, so tell me about that visit. Where all did you go? What all did you see?
So I got here pretty late off the flight. I got here around 9. So we went out to eat that
Mhm.
night with the coaches and some of the other players that were on visits. But like I just seen like it just felt like family, you know.
Mhm.
So, like everywhere I look, it was just
Yeah.
like it's family. Me, like even me and the people that I was on visits with, I felt like I was on the team with them already.
Wow.
So that's what really had got to me.
Yeah, I remember your recruiting week. your visit. That it was a big weekend. It was a bunch of guys,
Yeah,
and there were several. I want to say there were several guys who ended up committing. Right? Can you remember some of the guys who were visited with
yeah.
you who are on the team now?
So I was with Irv. He was already committed here. Jaheim, Solomon, Doug, O lineman. Let me see.
Hmm.
It was a couple more other guys, but all through the visit, we were all just talking to each other like, yeah, I think this the place. You know,
Hmm.
like we was all talking about it
So
on the
did y'all
visit.
kind
Like
of
we
talk
had
each
our
other into
recommend.
committing, or
Yeah, basically.
right? Do you remember who was the first to commit? I mean, Irv
I
had
think
already
it,
committed, but of the ones who hadn't.
I think it was Jaheim. Jaheim told me that he committed like right before I had left on my flight the next day. Then I got back home. I got back to the cab. Got on the phone with the coaches and my mom. Then I just told them like, yeah, I'm ready to make that decision.
And aside from that family atmosphere, what else helped you decide? What led to that decision?
Really just exposure and the offense. I really like the way they run the offense here.
Okay.
So that was really one of the main attractions for me too.
Yeah, the offense is something that the fans are excited about, especially after finally seeing it. I know a lot of fans are, or had been familiar with Coach Mo just from some of his previous stops and some offenses that he had been a part of. So we're kind of eager to see what he will bring here. So talk about some of those conversations with Coach Mo that kind of help you decide that you want to be here. Of course, don't give up too much, but just from a standpoint of
Yeah,
what
for
type of
sure.
offense he was going to run and you seeing yourself fitting in. What were some of those conversations like?
So in high school we ran a tempo offense, so I was pretty used to that. That's what we didn't do at NIU. So that had I got excited about that. Then the way just like the receivers that we already had in the room and him
Hmm.
explaining to me like how we could make each other so much better and like how good of a group we could be if I was to come and join these guys. And then when I
Hmm.
came and joined them now, I actually see like we're going to be the
Hmm.
best receiver group in the FCF in the SWAC for sure.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So, you've been here for a while. What has it been like as far as just around town or, being on campus now? The school has started as well and then practice.
Mhm. It's been great. I can't even lie to you. So since I graduated, I don't really have too much class. My class is online, so it's been a good time, man. Being in Jackson, you know, you got the same
Mhm,
problems that you would have in any other city. So it's not too much of a difference
mhm,
coming from Chicago to coming to Jackson. But the coaches they keep us out the way, so out of the way any problems, so we don't have to worry about none of that stuff.
yeah. Yeah, that's good to hear, man. That's great to hear. I know, you got a bunch of guys in that coaching staff who, have your best interest at heart and in mind. And, starting from the top with Coach TC, great guy. I've known TC since high school. So, I was excited to see him get the job. I know something he's always been, wanting, pushing for to be a head coach, but then especially at his alma mater. And then he played, of course, I know you've heard the stories, but he played
Yeah,
the same position that you're playing, and he has some records at Jackson State. So
that's
talk
right.
about Coach TC, what it's been like playing for him.
It's been great playing for Coach TC, just the way that he leads and just the way that he's able to just get everybody on the same page and just have everyone in sync and moving as one. Like when he speaks,
Mhm,
everyone listening.
mhm. Yep. All right, man. So let's get into your game, man. If you had to describe yourself, describe what type of wide receiver you are, or compare yourself to an NFL guy, who would that be, or how would you describe your game?
I'll describe my game fluid route running, like Diggs, Stephon Diggs. I compare myself to him if I had to compare myself to an NFL guy.
Okay.
Smooth route runner, and I'm gonna
Wow.
catch the ball. Get a lot of
Hmm.
separation
Yeah.
at the top of the
What's
route.
that height and weight?
6'2", 190 right now. Trying to get to 195.
Okay. Well, you got
Yeah,
you there with Coach Beef, so I know with that strength and conditioning
yeah, for
program, that
sure.
won't be a problem.
Yeah,
That won't
most
be a problem
definitely.
at all. And so you get to campus, you start meeting your teammates, and you start practicing and things like that. So give me a name, give me a DB who was the first DB that stood out to you, whether it was in the weight room or lying up across from me, that let you know, okay, I got to bring.
One DB, I'll probably say Cali.
Okay, yep, Keith Callaghan. Coach TC has described him as as a pro prospect. So he's a transfer
Yeah.
as well. So what is it about him?
Just the way he carry himself, his demeanor. Like he's a physical DB. He want to get hands on when he's up on the line. So he's only gonna make you better, you know.
Yeah, and that I know you talked about the wide receiver core being one of the best in the FCS and definitely the best in the SWAC. That defensive backfield as well. I know
For
it's
sure.
tough. So you're going
Yeah.
up against them every day in practice, and so you
Mm-hmm.
finally get to go play a team other than them, and it's probably a
Yeah.
little bit easier going up against another team than going
Uh,
up against your own secondary. So you got some
most
animals
definitely.
back there. But talk about that
Yeah.
first
You
game
got a
though,
lot
man.
of
You
that.
finally I know it's something you've been waiting on, but you finally got a chance to get out there in Atlanta of all places. So talk about that game and that experience and that atmosphere.
The experience is definitely a great experience. Like like coming from a FBS school or like really any other school rather than the HBCU. It's like when you go to like away games, sometimes you really won't even have that many fans coming to the away games. A game like that that's in Atlanta, we wouldn't have had that many fans out there in the stands. So that was something I was definitely waiting for, and that was pretty cool to me.
Yeah, man, how much are you looking forward to that first home game? And I don't want to skip. I know we got Miami right
Uh,
around the corner, which is a big one. Then we got Southern, but I just want to fast forward to the home games because obviously you haven't been in the stadium during the game, but I'm pretty sure you've seen pictures and video.
yeah, I can't wait for that first home game. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mhm. Yeah, man, it's an experience at the vet, man. You just have to you be there and experience it, and then the boom. That was just your first time experiencing an HBCU band, just as far as
Yep,
live.
yep.
So, how does that add to the experience and the atmosphere when you have the boom playing behind you?
It just gives everybody energy on the field. Like you can feel the energy from the stands to the field, and that just make you
Mhm.
play faster and better.
Have you been out on campus at any point where they've been marching through and practicing?
Yeah, when I over the summer, I used to hear him all night and morning, night and
Mhm.
morning.
Yeah, I know that's probably something different for you as well.
Yeah,
No
you
doubt,
ain't
no
seeing it
doubt.
at every school.
Right, right. Cool, man. So, of course, we talked about the first home game, but is there any other game on the schedule that you have circled that you're just looking forward to for any particular reason?
When we played Texas State, just to show people,
Okay, when you say just to show people, what to show people what?
just to show I know they're gonna be doubting us, but we gonna show them. That's all I can say.
Okay. All right, man. A few words, but you made your point. I get it. I get it. So we look for that's one that we're definitely looking forward to. Over the past couple seasons, we've gone undefeated in conference play. Of course, we've got to the Celebration Bowl and unfortunately come up short. But as far as in conference play, we haven't lost the game. The only regular season game we've lost was against an FBS program, and lost that. It went down to the wire. And we got a couple of their players on our team now who transferred from
Yeah,
that program, but we've just been waiting and
exactly.
waiting to get an opportunity to play an FCS program. So that team is talented, but so are we. So I know you guys are because a bunch of you guys are coming from FBS and guys
Hmm.
who weren't at FBS. They were recruited by FBS schools and could have gone there, or they felt as though they should have or could have been at FBS. So I know you guys don't look at them and feel like you're inferior or they're superior. I know you know old cliche. You put on your pants just like them. So I know you guys are ready to show the world.
Most definitely.
And then you talked about exposure earlier. That game was on ABC,
Yeah.
1.24 million viewers. Every game, I think, except one, which is the Valley game, will be streamed by ESPN. So, what is that like to play on ESPN every single week, and then also for your friends and family to always be able to watch it?
That's a great feeling, man. Just knowing that you don't really have to worry about anybody not being able to see your game if they're not able to actually make it to the game. So that's a great feeling, knowing that my people can always be watching at home.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know you said earlier you had already graduated. So, what's that eligibility? I know with COVID and all these different rules. I know you may
Yeah.
have sometimes you have extra years outside of that senior year. So what's the eligibility looking like?
Uh, so I got 2 more years left. So after this, it'll be one.
2 more years. Okay. Okay. So all right, awesome. What are you studying?
I'm getting my master's in sports science.
Okay. All right, good stuff. All right, man. Fabian McCray, man. So before we let you go, message for the fans. What do you want to say to the fans who are watching?
What I want to say to the fans who are watching, uh, let's be on the lookout for 9 for sure. It's gonna be some big plays being made out
Coming.
there.
No doubt, no doubt. And social media, where can they find you on social media?
Social media on Instagram, you can follow me at og.fabo, and on Twitter, you can follow me at Fabian McCray 7.
All
The
right, there
number
you have it.
7.
Number 9. Number 9, Fabian McCray. All right, man. Looking forward to seeing you every single Saturday and looking forward to seeing you this
Sir.
Sunday.
For sure. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club is presented by Bet Online.